Going through that process. So you said it was roughly around 1920 is when you started coming out of your shell.
1920 is when I started doing stuff in my life to go, like I got diabetes, type 1 diabetes at 19 years old. So I got an autoimmune disease at 19 years old. And that's when I started changing everything. Like I wanted to get into helping people in some sort of way. So I switched from wanting to be a lawyer just because I love arguing with people to exercise science, because I found that I'm just a one-handed guy living in a two-handed world. And so many people need adaptations, but the world was kind of designed for a very specific type of person, you know? Yeah. So I felt like I had to create some sort of pathways, not only for myself, but for people like me. 1 in 4 people have a disability in the world. It's the largest minority in the world, you know? Yeah. So, but it wasn't until 27 that I stopped hiding my disability, and I'm 31.
So it's been a very, very, very long journey through that process.
Very long, very long. And that's why a lot of people see the Dignification of Success or journeys like it's supposed to be this linear path to success. No, and that's
never.
It's not like that from a wealth perspective, from a money perspective. It's not like that from an emotional perspective. No one's journey is linear. Fat loss is not linear. Wealth accumulation is not linear. Quality of life is not linear. In the long run, you might see a gradual step up, but in the short process, people have these expectations of where they think they should be. And I hate the should be's of life, because there's no such thing as a should be when it comes to individualized, you know, paths of life. So I always felt like I should be confident. I should be okay with my disability. Look at these people. Look at these people. Like this concept of wanting more, you know, I had like a greed for wanting to be like other people, not just money, but I wanted to be as confident as I told myself other people were. When in reality, I didn't know if they were confident. It's just a story I told myself. And the story I told myself about myself was shit, you know?
Yeah. And that narrative sometimes, like I said, it could eat you or grow you as an individual.
And the crazy part about that is when you realize that that narrative was always controlled by you. Influenced maybe by other people, but influence is only possible when you allow it. You know, influence requires acceptance.
I'm 1,000% agreeing in that. I mean, it's so crazy how we allow the thoughts or feelings of other individuals control how we emotionally react. And the end of the day,
love that though, because
it's we're the reaction. We're the ones that allow it to happen.
Oh yeah, it's huge. And there's a massive difference between reacting and responding. Reacting is like a knee-jerk thing that happens. It's a small space between what happens and what you choose to do. But responding is intentional. And when I was able to shift from reacting to responding, people like, how'd you do that? I was like, oh, I started focusing on more, you know, accountability and responsibility, not just responsibility, but responsibility, the ability to respond to anything that happens to us. And people are like, oh, easier said than done. Absolutely. You're correct, but better done than said.
I love that. I love that. That was a little nugget there. It's so true, because we always perceive our reaction by other people's reaction. And we're always justifying our reaction by how other people react. It's this constant gratification, whether it's through social media, through likes, through views, or whatever it is. We're constantly waiting for everybody else's reaction, and that'll kind of justify our reaction originally, or how we thought we should feel, right? So I love that.